Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Mystery Sports Podcast. As you can tell by the title and what you may have watched, or what you may have heard, or whatever it may have been, Luke Littler is the world champion of darts again for the second time in a row. Luke Littler has been crowned, obviously, as the world champ. And what did we see throughout that entire battering, should we say, that Luke Littler did to Van Veen? It was 7-1. I didn't expect this to be a 7-1 win. As probably you may have seen through my preview to the final. If you haven't seen that, please check the link in the description. Have another look of that, please. I thought it was going to be about 7-5, 7-4 to Littler, and I didn't think it would be such a one-sided affair as it was. The nuke has exploded pretty much, as the title is, because he went 1-0 down, didn't phase him. He won 6 legs on the bounce. And, it was pretty much the semi-final repeat against Ryan Searle, where he just won 5 legs on the bounce. And, Luke Littler was an absolute machine, a machine today. And, to just, to see how dominant he was, it just, I think, reinforces the idea that he is probably the number one darts player we've seen for a very, very long time. Because we didn't really see Michael Van Gerwen do it. We may have seen Philip Howard Taylor do it, but I'll be honest, Philip Howard Taylor was in a generation where it was just him. Then you had obviously Adrian Lewis come on and things like that, stirred up the pot. But when you have Luke Littler, for a guy who, against Van Veen, who was meant to be almost kind of a good competition for him, just looked like he was playing against someone who couldn't throw darts properly. Like Van Veen, sorry, didn't look as good as what we know he to be and what we all expected him to do. But the thing is, I might be saying all these negative things about him, but Van Veen actually did play okay. Like, his average in that final was 99. It's decent average, obviously just below a ton. 9 180s, brilliant. That's good. It's good average. Good 180 hitting. 18 140 plus darts thrown. 18 is a lot. 145 checkout, decent checkout. Obviously, Littler hitting the big fish, fantastic. You can't get better than that. And for a long time in that match, Van Veen had 400 plus checkouts. That in any match, having 4 ton plus checkouts is outstanding. It's obscene to see that kind of just that kind of checkouts there, and obviously 4 ton percentages is mental. But as I'm reading out here now, Luke Littler's stats, it just shows the world class nature of Luke Littler and how you're just on a different planet to every other dart player in the world. Like, not even Humphries is close to him anymore, I don't think. 106 average. Wow. 16 180s thrown. 19 140 plus thrown. 170 checkout, a big fish. And 400 plus checkouts. Like, I'm reading that 106 average. That is mental, absolutely crazy. And we should expect this from Luke Littler. It's the norm maybe with Luke Littler, because we see him 110 average in certain games. When his tournament average is unspeakable. I think it's like 106 tournament averages. Wow, it's just mental what Luke Littler is doing to the darting world and the sport of darts. But hats off to Luke Littler. Brilliant performance from him. And I think for Van Veen, what he can take out of this game is that he's in the Premier League pretty much, which it's like it's a league table of 8 darts players, the best 8, should we say, and they have basically it's like 17 nights of constant games against each other, and then the top 4 go into a playoff, and that's your winner there. For those who didn't know what the Premier League of darts in the format of that was, so Van Veen, obviously, he's the Dutch number 1. Brilliant for him, overtaking Van Gerwen, and he probably will be in the Premier League. So it's a good achievement for him. Winning the Youth Championship this year, brilliant for him again. Having 500k in the bank from coming second is really good. Second, consolation, should we say? And I think that is, it's obviously disheartening for him, obviously losing the final to Luke. But when you're coming up against those stats and the player that Luke Littler is, it's just, what can you do? There's very little that you can do. But what does the win actually mean in terms of Luke Littler and for the rest of darts? So to beat Luke Littler, you're gonna have to have an average over 110. And that is very unlikely for people to have an average of 110. Like Littler only ever does it so often, but his average is obviously 100 plus. It's just mental. So to have an average of 110, it's unheard of, really, to just beat one single player. So whoever Littler plays, he's got to be the favorite in anything that he walks into and any game that he is to be played. Littler is the fourth player to win the world champs consecutively, and he's got the chance to make it 3 in a row, which, from what I've researched, I don't think there is anyone who's done it yet. If I'm wrong, please let me know in the comments, much appreciated. But he's probably going to win it 3 in a row, because I don't see anyone in the darting world that will stop him. Like, Humphreys didn't look himself. He may have a chance. Van Gerwen doesn't look like the normal Van Gerwen, and I think, with all due respect of Michael Van Gerwen, he's not been the MVG that we've seen in the past, and the Mighty Mike who just absolutely obliterates everyone. Van Veen, judging by this performance, I don't think we will see that, but he's got his time, and I think Van Veen will do well. I think Michael Smith passed it. Peter Wright passed it. There's other players out there, even Nathan Aspinall passed it. I think Luke Littler's got the beating of, I think, a lot of, and probably nearly every dart player in the tour or whoever comes in the championships or whatever it may be. So, in terms of the whole dart kind of world and what will happen for that, I'm not sure. And I think Luke Littler just walks through everything at this moment in time. And the concern that I mentioned in the previous video is that if Littler just carries on winning all the time, then, darts could become boring very soon. But hopefully that's not the issue. But enough about having a negative impact and talking all this negativity. Luke Littler is the world champ, back-to-back champion. Brilliant for him. I don't believe it. I not don't believe it. I'm just shocked of how well he won and how comfortable it was for Luke Littler to win. And I think we go into the Premier League. The draw is on Monday at 3:30, so definitely stay tuned into that, because it will be very interesting to see who will be in there, because it's not going to be your normal people like your Buntings and things like that. I think it'll be quite a mixed Premier League season this year in terms of darts. But yeah, thank you all for watching. Congratulations to Luke Littler. Brilliant for him. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, like and share the video, please. And yeah, have a good rest of your day, evenings, whatever it may be, whenever you're watching it. Catch you on a bit.